Oh my God.
I'm getting the drive.
Hold on, man. You know what I mean?
That one too. I like that.
Hold on, man. We just had to get, you know what I mean? Just a little, you know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
A little flavor, man.
Gotta listen. This guy right here to my left,
Oh my
the
God.
one and only Carmine Prophets.
Yes, man.
I'm gonna let you probably introduce us.
Yeah.
I had to get my.
Hey, this BB, man. He in the building, man. You know what I mean? It's really like that in here, man.
Brian Brown. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Glad to be back on the Lost in the Sauce podcast, man. Thank you for having me for sure.
Yes, sir.
Fresh off the album dropping a couple days ago at the time.
It's
of this
out,
recording,
man.
so.
It's out. BBGonProfit. Y'all make sure y'all
man.
tap in with that. There's gonna be a link in the description.
All
Right
streaming
under there,
platforms.
You know what I'm saying?
Napster, LimeWire, Pandora, I don't know, iTunes Store, wherever you go listen to music, please do us a favor and just just take 30 minutes of your day and press play, man.
It ain't even that. If I'm mistaken, it's about 25, 26.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's an episode. That's a
good car ride.
Yeah, you know.
Especially in this city traffic, man. You know what I'm saying? It's really gonna get
get you through there. Yeah, for sure, man.
It's gonna get you through there, man.
I'm happy to be back here, and I'm happy to be, you know, back out in the field, man. Especially with somebody of the caliber of producer and artist and just ability that Carmine has. And of course, we'll further get into it and how we all connected to this and the third. But man, you know, 2 projects in a year. You feel me? 2 in a year.
Yeah, man.
That's 2 in a year.
Yes.
2-minute drill for January.
Yes, sir.
Ending the year off the right way, man. This won't be I always want to do that for sure. And so to be able to like I said earlier, to be like this erratically confident about the music that we made over the past like year and some change, and my team being like, all right, bro, if you feel that way, fuck it, let's go, you know. And so now, like we said, the real work begins. Again, shout out to Carmine for being so willing and so able to, you know, challenge me realistically, you know.
Talk to me about that, bro. Like, you know, going from Journey in 2020, and you know, we talked around then, bro. So it was just kind of, I think you were in a different headspace. You was in a different vibe, a different element. And you kind of expressed like, you know, in a sense, like missing the mark due to COVID. You know what I'm saying? On some of those opportunities or those hits that came off of that album. Yeah. But like you said, transitioning into that, you were in the process of going into 2-minute drill. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And you hinted like what we talked about off camera. You hinted towards the direction that you wanted to go at this point, like sonically. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we got a taste of that in 2-minute drill. Like I was telling you in Journey, you hinted at some of those bops on like with Flavor, Vanilla. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that.
Steely Dan too.
Yes. You gave us some of those hints, but I think I speak for everybody when it was exciting to hear you in this type of space, bro. So just
let me ask: was it on this project, or are you going back to 2-minute drill per se?
It was almost on like. To me, it felt like going
I know
Trillville
kind of was like, oh, you can do that.
Yeah.
I've been doing
that's
that.
when it started for me. That's when it got there, and I'm like, hold on, he in a different pocket.
Yeah.
But this is different. This shit is different, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's realistically just a testament to my ability to be various. You know, I don't think I've ever, you know, stayed in one pocket or one sound, even on Journey. Like for every, you know, stay, you've got Vanilla. For every the title track even of itself, you've got Steely Dan. I think there was a very nice balance and contrast of like something with some knock and then something with some thought to it. But it all had thought to it regardless. It's just that, you know, I think a part of it, a lot of it was COVID. Couldn't really move around too, but also we didn't really have a lot of ducks in a row. A couple of videos came out late, this, that, and the third, and I can, proudly admit that we didn't necessarily have it all playing together. But luckily, it was a space where the whole world was just kind of like confused. So we was able to kind of, you know, finagle and finesse through our own discombobulation by just allowing it to like naturally happen. And the world had just stopped in and of itself. So folks like had to listen. And in the processes, like I told you earlier, that story, Shrames. I love you, bro. Shrames.
Shout out Shrames.
If anybody's the reason for my villain origin story, it's him. And it's not like a bad thing, but we were at this Airbnb party around early 2020, like right before COVID had smacked, and he told me he fucked with the project. He loved Journey, but he's like, man, it didn't smack like I thought it would, and or it something like that. And I was like, what does he mean by that? And so like time that went by, that first post-COVID, y'all can come outside and record thing, it just kind of resonated. Like, oh, folk want to hear me on the whims, and even to that extent, I've had jams like that. I thought 10 Toes was one that I thought was really slapping in that nature. I honestly thought Desires, even like Desires was one of those that kind of went in that way. I guess folk just wanted more of that. And so that's where, dude, I was at Jet Crib that summer of 2020 going into 21, like relentlessly, like trying whatever and rapping on stuff. And even with a song like Trillville, I remember it was me, AB, it was a bunch of us in the studio that day. AB was like, bro, tweet this out and just watch what happens. We tweeted the most ridiculous description of beats we were looking for. And Crash Max sent us, God bless my boy Crash Max, man. The boy in Kentucky doing the thing now. I just got a guys. Love you, my boy. He leveled me up big time. One of my favorite producers that's from the Ville. But he sent me a Dropbox photo of like 10. And that one in particular was like, oh nah, we gotta do that. And then AB, to that extent, I guess I owe AB a credit nod on Trip. I think about it, because he was like, bro, you can't write this, you got to freestyle. And I was like, okay, bet, yeah. So I pretty much freestyled all of Trillville, like bit by. I hate punching in. I can't stand punching in. I hate that whole rapping method. But he was like, bro, you got to freestyle this. And so eventually I got it all done. I went back, I wrote it so I could remember it and so I could deliver it the way I wanted to and stuff like that. And then it was from there. And so I'm going to go back a little bit because I met him via Instagram. He did a flip to one of the songs I was talking about, Desires. It's still on my Instagram. As a matter of fact, eventually. We talking about Carmine right now. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, I met Carmine via Instagram. He did a flip to Desires, and it was soulful as hell. It was so smooth. And there was like the mutual understanding, like, okay, this is tight. We got to get in the lab together at some point one day. Fast forward to, what was that, last summer?
Something like that, yeah, during the summer song.
When we had the show at Tin Roof? Yeah. It was myself, Hugh G, Lil Bree was on that bill. Clover James. Was Weston on that bill too?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah,
it was such a long time ago.
But it was like rappers was on Broadway, and we had never like officially met person to person, face by face. Just again, it was just that flip, and that was that. And he was like, yo, I'm Carmine, by the way. And I'm like, oh, snap. Carmine, yeah. It's good to finally meet you. And, of course, the usual, hey, man, what we doing? Let's lock in. This, that, and the third. And then, what? I finally pulled up to the Red Room. I call it the safe. Yeah, but the studio's called the Red Room. I call it the safe because it felt like a bank safe in that motherfucker. And the rest is, history in the making at this point. Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Okay, so before I get to Carmine, and I definitely want to get like your background and just developing this sound with Brian, bro. Like it's very special. Like,
thank you for calling me Brian, by the way.
Yeah.
But PSA, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like, yo, my mama gave me that name. I know Brown is my last name, bro. Call me Brian. Unless you have rights, privileges, and a lengthy relationship with me, I am more than a color, motherfuckers. I love Brown just as much as everybody else, but I am Brian, damn it. Let's do it. Right. Yeah, exactly. Good grief. Hey, thank you for that. I don't even know
BB
why.
In the building, man.
I don't know why I just had to. My bad. Go ahead, though, man.
No, you great, bro. You great. Hey, man, so what I was saying with, you great, bro. This man is a showman, bro. He's really good at what he does,
dude,
bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just saying, man. Good Lord. But, imagine just being Brown. Like, no, hey, bro. Whatever, man.
Oh man,
Jesus.
Hey, so what I wanted to tell you, man, like going into this project and you leaking it with Carmine, I don't know what unlocked. Now I can hear, like I said, this trajectory was going up. If I'm painting like a picture in the timeline for this,
Okay.
it was going up. I could hear it in 2 Minute Drill, and I'm like, damn, this is what we need.
Yeah.
But when I heard you with him in this project, bro, like it was just down to some of the like just minute like details, bro. Like you sound like, you know, and I don't mean this in no, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You rap very Southern, but like you could hear you pronunciating your words. You were rapping very clear. You seem like you came in with an intention in a sense, bro. And everything was just elevated. It was like, all right, this is on the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
respect. Thank you. Yeah, big time.
What happened? What happened in that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
What happened?
Yeah, like
What happened?
I gotta talk about y'all connection, bro. What the? Because bro, you brought something different out of him. I don't know if he just came in with a certain energy. Like he was really rapping in a like it sounded like elite Brian.
I mean, if I can speak to at least myself, I think what happened for me was just kind of, I guess, like the landscape in the world around me at the point in time when we first started linking up. I'm how do I put this? Settling with the fact of, as beautiful as Journey was, we didn't get to necessarily capitalize off it the way that I felt like we should. And that's a lot of, and of course, part of that is on us. Part of that is due to an unforeseen circumstance that this world has never ever seen type thing. But also, too, the industry, you know, being an independent artist is a hassle. And so, you know, you hear me talking about money a lot in this project, and I'm not like the biggest, you know, money guy. Like, of course, like everybody wants it and it has to have it and obtain it, but it's not something that necessarily rules me by any means. But at the same time, I also need to get what I feel like I'm worth.
Yes.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yes.
And so a part of me was just very frustrated, either due to my own actions or, you know, just things happening the way that they go. And luckily, this guy here just had, and I think that's the coolest part about this project too, was there was never a time where either of us were like, you know, not willing to try something new. You know? He had beats and sounds for days that just happened to fit and go where I was going, and some of those I'm like, oh shit, I've never heard that before. Like one of the very first songs we recorded, believe it or not, was Home.
What? Yeah, the last song.
Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, that was the first song we ever made together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. So wait, where did Malone come in that?
Oh, that was like post production. That was like towards the
that
end.
was-
Yeah.
that was in the post.
Fire.
I just kind of wanted to do something like that to kind of like sum up what I was really saying on this album, which is like,
that was his idea.
Yeah. I didn't. I mean, I'm a church kid, grew up.
Wow,
around,
man, yeah. So it was very soulful.
Yeah, but that was just something for me to kind of put the cherry on top about the whole project, because again, we went into it just, hey, we're mutual fans of one another. Let's just make some shit. There was no like, hey, we're about to make a project. That was never a part of the plan.
That was not planned at all.
Yeah.
I was not planned at all. We were just like making songs.
Wow. And then it just happened.
Yeah. And so
I think there was a time where he asked, like, he was like, I think it was like we were 4 songs in or something. And he was like, so are we making like an EP or like what are we trying to put some of these out, or like what were we trying to do? I was like, man, I'm down to do whatever the fuck we want to do. I was like, I just fuck with making songs with you.
That's
fire. So let's just see what happens.
Yeah. Okay, so now you getting to my point of where I wanted to know, because it's like, how did y'all go through and like in this chemistry building process? You know what I mean? Because it sounds like a perfect blend to both of y'all. Like, we can get into some of your background a little bit. You know what I'm saying? let's start there. Tell me where you come from. Like, how did you cultivate into building the sound that we hear on this project?
Man, I mean, born and raised Dallas, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Been doing music like for about like 10 years, type of 11 years type of thing, making beats. Had like kind of groups and stuff and friends and stuff making songs together, and we always just all my homies that are from Texas, we just got together and made songs, really. And just love making all different types of music. We would exchange music. It's like, hey, yo, have you heard this? Oh, you heard that? All that type of thing. And then eventually just kept on making beats, same inspirations just like anybody else. And then eventually just kind of found my way with it, especially moving here, because I moved here in like 2016 and then just try to, find all the dopest MCs.
I was just about to ask you when you moved down here, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And that was the thing. When I moved here, I was like, okay, I make beats. So like, let me try to find like, who was dope. And there's just so many different MCs out here. And one of the names that came up that I kept on hearing about was Brian Brown. Yeah. And actually at first, like before I even heard the music, I was kind of like, man, I like that name. Like it's a tight name, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a good name.
Fire. That's fire. You're the first person to ever say that. That's great.
I'm like, damn, that's a good ass name. Like for a good ass MC. Heard some of the shit, I was fucking with it.
That's true.
And then during COVID, I was doing these remixes. Like I was just posting up on my Instagram and shit. Was just like just doing these remixes and whatnot.
I'm finna find it, bro.
And yeah, because he put it on Twitter. And
I gotta see the one that grabbed you, bro. Like,
it's on my Instagram page too. It's like it's not leaving my page at all, bro. It's still there.
I was doing remixes of just like whoever, and I was like, man, I want to try to find someone like local, like to do and stuff like that. And I had some people that I knew, but I had never met Brian at that time. And
I actually wasn't living here. I hadn't moved back yet. I was still.
Where was you at?
I was in Atlanta, 16.
Oh damn!
I moved back here, like spring of 2017.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So it still wasn't far away, but yeah, I was in Atlanta around that time. Yeah,
that's wild. I did not.
I mean, when you first moved here, I was in Atlanta, but 2020, I was definitely back here. But when the flip came out and shit,
Yeah, and then like I found Desires and was like, man, I want to flip this shit. This dude's flowing on this. I was like, he don't know me at all, but let me just do it, just for the love of the song. Yeah, that was.
Hey. Fire.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fire.
And then I did the thing where I had the video, like it would be trying to find the music videos of these people and stuff, and then just putting my remix on the videos and then posting the videos, but you would hear a different beat type of thing.
That's creative as fuck.
Yeah, so I was doing that. It was I could do remixes, but it was nice to just do like the video with the remix at the same time and stuff like that and everything. So I was having a fun time doing that, and then Brian was just like, man, what? Like I think I just randomly just like messaged him on Instagram, was like, hey bro, I made this, and he was like, what the fuck? Like,
it was fine. And then think
he was
about
like, who are you? Like, he was like, who the fuck? And I think at that time, like I had at that time too, it was during COVID, right? So it's like, I was just posting the videos. I wasn't posting like pictures of myself or anything like that. So
I had no idea.
A lot of people,
like a ghost.
It's like a lot of people had no idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just kind of being reclusive, just like no one had really seen like what I look like type of shit. And so it was fun. And so he was just like, who the hell is this? Like, damn, this remix kind of, you know what I mean? And then he put it on Twitter and everyone was like, yo, that's crazy. And he actually gave a lot of light to me on that. So I'm like, like, yo, who the hell's, Carmine and stuff like that. So
I'm glad I could, bro. Because again, like you said, we was during COVID. So the idea at that point was we can't move around like that. Mm-hmm. So as much content as y'all could have or just, push to, maintain while everything was standing still was paramount. And
your fans be wanting it too, man.
He came through. He came through with that, and I was like, yo, who for one, like who the fuck even how did he find that song? What made him even want to flip it, this, that, and the third? And that was a moment. I really remember. I was like, that's tight. That was the first time I think I had ever had anything of mine like kind of even flipped or even done in that type of sense of nature. So
yeah, that was a good song too, because you're talking about Grammys and all that. Like,
yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because when I was doing the acapella, like hearing the acapella and just formulating the beat around.
How'd you even get the acapella? You did that yourself, huh?
Yeah. I got stuff. I got stuff.
Whoa.
Split all the, you know what I mean, all the programs and whatnot. Do all that.
Let's get into that a little bit, man, because when I did a little bit of research on you, man, I had noticed that it's not just producing that's in your bag. You do a little bit of graphic design, you do a little bit of engineering, all of that, bro. So, like, can you just how'd you get so many tools in the bag, bro? Like throughout this time. I'm just
interested in a lot of shit. I just love a lot of stuff. So like, even before I did music, I was doing film.
Ooh,
so I was my older brother. He does like cinematography and editing, and he does choreography as well. And so me being a little brother, when I was like a kid, I wanted to do the screenplay writing and directing and shit. You know, I looked up to people like Scorsese and like Tarantino and all them. So when I approached music, it was just kind of like the same thing. Like I always have my like favorite music videos and everything like that. So when I approach like an album or when I approach like music, I just see it in certain like scenes of a movie, really. So when it comes to like things like this project, I just look at it like he wrote the script. I got to direct it and like find the threads and sequence it right. You know what I mean?
Man, that's fire that you just said that, bro. So, man, there's so many layers that I want to get to within this project because it's like when I was listening to it, bro, it's almost like a beautiful like split down the middle. So, like, you get a bunch of, like, your personality in this project. So, like, you get, like, the Texas, like, references and, you know, the Big Pokey and, you know, all of these things.
R.I.P., by the way.
Yes. So, it's like, man, you kind of playing off of the chopped and screwed stuff, and it's just got that thickness and that bounce, that southern feel to it, bro. Yeah. And then you got BB that come with, you know, the flows, the melodies, like, he can just make catchy fucking hooks and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
I've worked on that so hard.
Those melodies
are like,
crazy.
It's a beautiful blend of like Southern and soul to me. That's what I got from like listening to this. So just take me through that process. How did y'all go through? Because like, did you craft the beats around like what he was doing, or was it opposite?
I just that's just what I make. And the thing is like he came into the studio is how I usually work, and when someone's like as good as a rapper as Brian Brown is, like it makes it a lot easier to make a record, because if you make just a bunch of beats, and especially when you got an MC or an artist or anything like that, you just play them a bunch of stuff, they're eventually going to be like that one. So for me, my process is like I'm not going to come to you a month later and be like, yeah, I've been working on these 10 beats this whole month, and like, you know, I've been really putting time into it. I don't do that. I wake up every morning and make a beat. And then I might make another one that day. I might make 3 that day. I might make 4, whatever the case is. So, and then I'll just have folders. And then eventually we'll link up in the studio, and he'll be like, all right, I'm down to rap. Like I'm trying to get, you know, and I'll just play like a whole bunch of beats, and eventually he'll be like, yo, this is crazy. And then he'll just pull out his phone and start writing. That's literally
exactly how this whole entire album went.
That's like, how this whole album got recorded.
That's exactly how this whole album
I just play a bunch of beats. He just goes, that one. And then I just pull it up and have it on loop for like, you know, a certain amount of time until he's ready to get in the booth.
At a certain point, there was only one time where we felt like we needed a certain sound. And that's when we made Free.
Yeah,
that's the only time that we was like.
Was that catered around like Sully being on there, or
no? I just like that beat. I just felt like, based on what the subject matter was of the songs that we had at the time, I just felt like we kind of needed that one, like almost like Middle Earth, kind of mesh it all together. This is my observation of not only myself, but the world around me, as I'm still talking about these similar, topics and things that are concerning to me and such of that nature. That's the only time that we ever did anything that felt like, all right, we need something. Other than that, though, exactly what he said. Yeah, I play a couple beats, And we'll talk about Ring, I'm sure. Like
we gonna get to it.
He almost skipped over. He almost skipped over Ring. I was like, no.
I thought he didn't like that beat. That's what.
No, that mud is crazy.
But I realized it just was like he just wasn't. Oh, he wasn't saying anything because he liked that beat.
That was it. Wasn't even that. It wasn't saying anything. I like heard it, and I went directly into the booth, and. Who was there with me at the time, Minville and Sandy, had to kind of like tell Carmine like, "Hey, I think he wants you to go back to that."
Yeah, because I didn't realize what he did was just like when I played the beat. I think you did something like we're like, oh, what the, and then went into the booth, and I didn't know. Usually when I'm playing beats, I'm like looking at a computer screen, and like, it's like everyone behind me. I'm usually waiting for like, yo, that's hard, or I like might look at them and shit, and if they're like, nodding their head away.
I hopped up like motherfucker Clark Kent at that phone booth, boy.
He was so quick. I didn't know that he did that. So like I just was thinking, I guess like next one. And then they were like, he's in the booth, and I was like, wait, what?
Because the microphone wasn't on. You know how like I'm sure you done been to a studio session.
Yes.
But like the engineer can be like, yo, can you hear me this and third? I'm in there like,
Hey, turn him mud on, bro. Let's go.
I was like, what?
Let's get it.
And we had just got done recording like a whole different song too.
Ooh.
Bro, literally. And it was like,
what'd you start with? Like, did you start with the verse or the hook?
Can I? All right, hold
we
on.
had a whole different song.
Because, bro, that
to a whole different beat.
Okay, so
that was right before we rated.
I was about to say, that day, me and shout out my girl, Auntie Joe. I think she back in Florida. Right? Shout out Auntie Joe.
Yeah.
She pulled up and we did something on the more like introspective tip or whatever that day. And
to that beat or
no, to something totally different. Fire, like really fire too. We just kind of like took the time with it to really develop it. Gotcha. It would have went into something, but it just never kind of came to fruition like we wanted to. That said, though, after we had got done with that, it took me forever because I was rapping on that pitch. I was trying to connect the dots, all that shit. After we had got done with that record, I had like, I don't know, like 20, 30 minutes left in the session because maybe even less than that because I was actually having rehearsals for the Journey show at Dark Matter earlier this year. Yeah, like we made Ring in like January, and he had something he had
some
going
session
on
or some rehearsal or something
that
like
day
that,
too.
Yeah.
And oh god, where is it? What was the name of that beat?
Cacti.
Yes, hold on. I still got the reference, dude. Are you kidding me? Hold on. This is.
Oh, man.
Hey, shit, man. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Damn, that's what I be wanting to go into the club sometimes. Just go to the party and be like, damn. Why you busted up on the wall, though? How that ass paper gun, drop it over.
Hey, right. That's my favorite part, though.
Freestyle the whole thing.
Just
bro.
Whole thing.
Just flowing through it.
You better hear it.
This is crazy. Oh, drop that. That's crazy.
Right.
That's hard. That is hard.
We both entire thing.
We
the
both
fuck?
knew when he got out of the booth and I replayed that little reference. We were just like laughing. We were kind of like laughing because it was just like that's just so fun,
Man.
Yeah. And then we were just like, "Yo, that's a whole ass song." Yeah. And then we got back the next studio session. And he was like, "Yo, pull it up," and then he was like, "Yo, mute the thing," and then muted it, and then he sat there and wrote the whole structure right then and there, and went in there and we recorded the whole thing.
Because I listened to that reference at least like a solid, I don't know, X amount of times. Like, yo, this is.
You know how catchy. Do you know how catchy that fucking hook is?
That's why. Yeah,
you supposed to hit up on.
It's so raw. It's like raw. It's natural. It
holding all that ass, drop it off on me. I want to hold it. Like, give it to me. You should not be carrying all that ass, baby. Like, put that shit on me.
Yeah, right.
That's hard. That's hard. That's hard, bro.
Okay,
I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay, so funny. This is gonna get me in so much trouble, but fuck it, bro.
What ass was that Muse, bro?
DJ Sandy, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I won't lie about it. Okay, so here's
shout out to the inspiration, man.
Here's what happened. Here's what happened. My boy Larry Brown, out East legend, like one of my best friends to this day. Love that dude so much. He had a birthday party at not a party, but he had a little get together at Weekend before they closed. This is probably like, if not last November, maybe the November before that. One of those two, regardless. It had to be last November though. I think they were still open around that time or whatever. And I had never seen Sandy before, but she was killing it, like on the like DJing. She was like,
she's cold.
She's the deal. Sandy, shout out to you, by the way. Like, this story aside, shout out to you. You killing it. She out in the A doing big things right now. But she was killing it. And I'm like, who the fuck is this spinning right now? Next thing you know, I walk up to the booth and my ass was mesmerized. I'm like, oh, hell nah. You mean to tell me she out here killing it like this? What in the world is going on? Nigga, I was nigga. Sauce on everything I love. I went, you done been to the Weekend, right?
Yes, sir, yeah.
I went to DJ booth. I was like,
hey, look.
Hey, girl. I love you. Like, in my head. But her thing was, like, man, she don't really get out the booth. She don't move like that. It's her, that damn hookah that she be smoking, and just her just spinning. And so you fast forward to this session, I had her and Menville pull up the Carmines because I kind of needed their 1-2 on the project I was working on. And like I said, after I got done with that session, me and Menville had rehearsal at his spot because we was getting ready for the Journey show or whatever. And she was in there, and of course, beautiful woman. But I was like,
that's the muse.
That's the muse right there. That's just the muse.
Let's go make his hit.
Yeah. I see you blowing hookah looking on so bazooka like that. Like that was like, you know, like it wasn't. I wasn't necessarily trying to shoot my shot, but it was more so like she is just one of many women who sit there at the club and don't do anything. And I don't think that's just a women thing. It's a Nashville thing.
Yep.
Of course, I'm talking to the women because I mean that's who I want to talk to in this song. But I think that. And it may be just be a Nashville thing. Hopefully, if when I go to other cities, folks is up dancing, whatever, But I hate when I go to Minerva and it's just
it's on the phone.
You
know what I'm saying?
And I just kind of miss that feeling of just going
interacting.
Out. And that's it, bro.
Human interaction.
It was a lot of just fluid. I fuck with you, you fuck with me. Let's dance. Let's not dance. You know what I'm saying? Like we can dance, and I don't gotta talk to you for the rest of the night, shawty. But like, let's at least see where this can go. I see you looking, you see me looking, quit playing, like, let's try to make something shake here, And yeah, that was pretty much the idea behind it, man. And you hear me on the demo, like, man, I just go to the club, like, why are we just sitting here? Like, there's no point. But yeah, shout out to Sandy. That was all her, man.
That's fine. Shout out to her, man. You brought a hit out of BB, man.
Hey, you really right. did. I owe you one. That's it. I gotta make sure you get your credits on
right
there.
That's fine.
That whole joint.
Yo, she's gonna kill me for this, but it's whatever though. It's the honest to God truth, man. Whatever. Good Lord.
I mean, let's stay in that pocket. Okay. Talk to me about talk because, man, you sent us on a high with like Frankenstein and then Kurt Wrangler. I mean, is it Kurt Wrangler? I'm sorry,
Kurt Wagner.
What was his character?
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
I've been Nightcrawling, moonwalking, shot calling.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm a big X-Men fan. I
didn't know that until I heard this.
I'm a big nerd. I like comic books. Sign me up. I'm not as deep into it as I could have been or once was, but no, I'm a big X-Men fan. Like the 90s cartoon is my shit. So once I kind of did that, I was like, man, what's a cool way to kind of like give a nod to what I was just saying and also to like my interests and shit growing up. And so Kurt was the name, and that was like his government name via the comic books and shit. So yeah, I'm a big.
He's
comic
cold
book
too.
guy.
He's just like sliding around. Yeah, he
Right,
was smooth and slick. So
poof anywhere, bro, and he could whoop some ass too. Like, shout out Nightcrawler for sure. Yeah.
But
I'm gonna let you talk about Talk because his story behind that is funny for sure.
Man, I just was doing like I was just playing beats, and then he was like that one, and then he wrote the whole thing. Usually, how Brian like writes is he'll kind of be in the in the studio like in the corner or whatever, and just kind of just straight up on his phone writing the whole thing very meticulously. If you don't know him, so it might. If you don't know him, it might look like he's not doing that. You know what I mean? So it's like I noticed that when we first like started working. So I knew that he was just doing his thing. So I'm just letting him do his thing. And then when he got in the booth and laid it down, I was like, "Oh damn, you trying to make the sexy track?"
Hey man,
I was like, I did not think you was gonna do that to this beat.
BB the sexy bag is crazy.
I was like, oh, you trying to make this for like the ladies and shit. I was like, okay, this is. I just wasn't picturing that when I made that beat. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew it was soulful.
That's crazy.
I knew it was
every time.
I knew the snare. It like certain as a producer, it's like certain kicks and snare choices and certain types of. You know what I'm saying? Like So I just wasn't picturing that in my head when I made that. Usually it might be some like other type of instrumental or something that I might hear it like some like R&B type of thing, but it was just tight that he just kind of took it from a different angle. Was like, nah, I'm gonna do this with it. Because I feel like someone could take that instrumental and been like, oh, I'm gonna rap hard and like do all these rap bars and all this stuff. But it's like, nah, like he really rode that bass line out. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of. It's like
he used that bass line. He used that bass line towards his advantage. You know what I'm saying? And
man,
like, that was perfect.
And that again, just the best part about making this album was there was no restrictions because I have done a lot better job of keeping the producer in mind. Like, you send me a beat, I'm going to do what I want to do type thing. But, and that's always going to be the case. But in particular, with us working with each other, like, once, twice a week, at least, if not every week, every other week, it's like, he could have easily been like, nah, I don't want you to do that. Or nah, that's not what I had in mind. But that happened, and he was like, oh. Word, and that's
fire.
And that's just the cooler part about it. I call it. I think I told somebody the other day. It was kind of like almost this like anonymous trust amongst one another. Yeah, in terms of we know each other off of like surface levels things. But eventually, initially, we was like, okay, what do we got here? What's this? What's that? And then, out of nowhere, it was like, okay, this keeps happening. This is so spontaneous, but I'm gonna let you rock, and we're gonna see how it works. And then it worked, and he was like, oh, okay, yeah,
man, I see. What you did with that
type thing, right. And it's just like that type of trust you have to have amongst one another, no matter if you've known each other for 20 years or 20 days. You kind of got to be willing to, let who you're working with rock and hopes that, it's something that you're both rocking with, and ultimately, again, it's on him because that's his beat, that's his production, that's his canvas that he made. For him to allow me to paint the picture how I want to without necessarily being like, yeah, or, that's... Again, that's that sense of trust that you got to build among one another, and it just kind of kept happening so swiftly and so progressively throughout the session. So that joint, that's honestly my favorite record on the joint.
Man,
that's my
special,
favorite,
bro.
Yeah,
it's special.
That melody at the later end is crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That shit just rides.
But also too, I've always wanted to make a song that I felt like could play in the background when you choosing. I always wanted to make those.
Get you that.
And that's I don't.
Hey,
those are missing. Those are missing.
In that bag, it's a feeling to
those
it,
are missing. Like I don't give a hell what you got. I don't give a damn if you even remotely care about what I had to say on that song. I just think that the intention and the purpose of what I was trying to do came off so effectively and so efficiently that next time I'm out and about, I just need to hear that. I didn't just want to hear the beat. And I was talking that shit on there. I ain't gonna stand. That's the thing about this album. There is not a single song where I was not rapping my ass off. There's a single, even that one.
Talk to me about the Big Pokey track.
this morning.
Yeah.
I woke up feeling like money. Did 30 just pull up?
30 was there, and he was about to invite his cousin. He was like, yo, is it cool if my cousin pulls up? And I was like, low key, nah. I was like, yeah, I said, low key, nah. Brian Brown's about to pull up. Bro, I'm trying to get you and him on a track together. And just y'all two. I was like, I just want y'all two. And he was like, okay, word, that's a bit, big bro, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's all 30 times. And then Brian pulls up and stuff, and then, so, you know, it's like I already was cooking up. Like, the beat was already pretty much kind of in a skeletal format. And then when Brian pulled up, had a drink, had a smoke, and everything like that, and then we were just kind of cooking up while they were writing and everything like that. 30 doesn't write, so he was just kind of waiting.
Freestyle.
Yeah, he was just waiting, just thinking, just mumbling to himself or whatever. So like,
so you already had the beat looping.
I already had the beat. I'm trying to make sure the snares right. I'm like, I remember the beat's done. And I have it on loop. I'm looking at Brian. I'm like, is that snare like good enough? Like, you know, like he's like, nah, that's good. Like, this is fire. Like, and so sticking to that, and then eventually Brian had his part. Put that on, and then 30 just went in and then just did that whole thing. Kind of the normal process how I was doing it. So how you were talking about like dealing with different artists' process, it's like dealing with them artists is funny because it's like they have the same type of taste, the same type of like, you know what I'm saying, what they like, but they work completely differently. You know what I'm saying? It's like they work completely differently. 30 is like, man, is that beat up? Like, let me get in the booth now and start thinking of stuff like in the booth. Brian's like, hold on, like I'm gonna write this whole down. Really make sure you hear like the words and the bars and the punchlines and everything. You know what I'm saying? So dealing with both of them was just perfect. I also knew that Brian had to meet 30 for the first time and everything like that. But that's how that song came about. It's just kind of random.
He slid too.
Oh my goodness. Did he?
Yeah, right.
But funny enough though, like the way that he's talking about 30's writing process, that's how I treated Journey. Like I did all of Journey pretty much that way. It wasn't until yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's not a physical form of a Journey verse anywhere. That's all like
that's tight.
Wow. Yeah. But like to that point though, like I could have made my whole life easier if I just would have jotted it down. Because the same way I like connected those dots and such like that, it probably would have been easier to see it, you know, versus, you know, having to constantly think and go back and be like, oh, where'd I stop? Where'd I pause? Is that in the third? Like I saved a lot of those in memory, stopped, and then kind of just went through. But yeah, I didn't physically write any of Journey. That being said, though, yeah, it was interesting to be just like to watch somebody else move like that, and he killed it. Pop a perk, and I pray for forgiveness.
Oh wow!
Like
right.
so much, the alliteration was crazy.
It's kind of crazy. Every time that I be recording 30, he be kind of like mumbling ideas for the next punch, and so every time he like mumbles something, I might say something. I might laugh and then say something that makes him, and then it might make him change that line or something. And then I think that we were doing that, and he got to the Papa Perk and I pray for forgiveness. And then I remember
that
Brian,
was hard.
I'll never forget. It's like we recorded that song at like 3:00 in the morning. Yo, like we got done with that song at like 5 something in the clock in the morning. Like I'm about to make chicken wings like randomly in the morning.
Yeah, we was at it for a minute.
Brian was on his phone and the 30's in the booth, and he says, Papa Perkin, I pray for forgiveness. Brian just gets off his phone and just looks, he's like, bro, Papa Perkin, pray for forgiveness. But he's like, all right. Like, I guess that's what we're doing. Like,
y'all like, Martin and I'm Malcolm X in the middle. There is some bars. 30 slid. He slid, man. And funny enough, we had a moment at some point in time, like throughout that night, he was like, hey, I know you don't know me that well, but bro, let me tell you something. I've been rocking with your music since this, that, and third. He had told me kind of like the relationship of like how somebody was dating somebody, this, that, and third. I forgot how that whole situation was like, bro, you've been hard since 722 type shit. So this is just like an amazing, like this is a cool ass thing to be happening right now. And he's the one for the hook too.
He did that.
Yeah, that's not in the hook. Yeah, this morning. I mean, because initially, of course, I mean, if you from the South, that's a Rocco thing.
Yep.
But when I asked him, I'm like, you gonna flip the Talib like that? He's like, nah, man. I mean, well, he's like, man, I'm thinking of Rocco real deal, but it just kind of felt like that. I'm like, oh shit. And then from there, so funny story. Not funny story, but like interesting fact. The intro to that part, the beginning, who you is right now. I spent like so many hours and days trying to figure out how to like beef that part up, that very beginning part, and I just couldn't figure it out. Like I don't know if I should have added some extra harmonies or whatever, but I just kind of like decided to roll with it because what I thought I had said was very, very cool and I guess like introspective enough and powerful enough to kind of like be a thing. And of course he's from Texas. I'm sure in some type of conversation in passing we talked about like chopped and screwed or something of that nature. Mm-hmm. And I think like initially after we recorded the song, or maybe like a little bit after, maybe like a session or two after, he had came back and he had slowed it down and chopped and screwed it, and it was the part from the beginning. So you could like really hear what the hell I was saying, and it kind of like of course we said in this interview plenty of times like that moment was like this and that was that, but that one in particular, like I was like, oh no, this nigga Carmine is really listening to what I'm saying, because for him to bring that part back and to slow it down and to really kind of put some emphasis on that thing, like who you is right now, something like Loch Ness, folk aware of the myth, but ain't seen none yet. Heard these tales he done told, stand quite tall above them all, none fictitious about these isms, leave the fables up to y'all. Like for you have to really be able to like catch that and understand that, and of course it's not complex by any means, but there's some depth there, and so for him to bring it back, slow it down, give it that Texas feel, and that's something I'm a fan. I'm a big Chopped and Screwed fan. I just thought that was super cool. And then the Pokey part, we did that like after Pokey died. We was like, you know what, man, we just kind of gotta, if we gonna do it, we just go ahead and do it. And he took that infamous that June 20, was that June 27th freestyle?
Yeah,
he took that infamous joint and took a portion that you don't necessarily hear all the time and just dumb down the beat a whole nother again. That's honestly my favorite part of the whole album is when the Pokey part comes in. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. And like you hear the beat like it's just a little bit better and further. I don't know. Like you really hear like
that whistle sound.
The complexities of the beat. Like you just really hear it like in depth on that part, and just how like gorgeous that shit is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's one of those joints that I thought kind of I was more, I won't say about, but I was like, I wonder how people gonna react to this, because again, I was not like the biggest fan of that intro. Like I liked it for sure, but I just felt like it could have been a little more, I guess, like cinematic. And it's not like on Carmine, it's more so on me and how I felt like I should have attacked it. But once he brought it back and chopped and screwed, I was like, oh, okay, for sure. I was like, okay, cool. Like, yes, like you get it, because I thought what I said was quote unquote enough to kind of be like it, I guess. You know, so
I know. For me, like when I was listening to it, it brought depth like to the project. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it was perfect where it sat in. You know what I'm saying, because it flowed right into the next track, and it's just like, that's it. That's nice. Yeah, man. And like I said, I seen a lot of people they sent me that jump and was like, man, this hard right here. Like that was their peak. That's what they riding to.
For sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And again, that just goes to show you, like, it's 8 songs, and I'm pretty sure like all 8 have been mentioned to me in some fashion. Like yo, like that's my, like nobody,
like this is my one.
This is my one. And you know that says a lot to the shit that we made, and you know, again, to plenty more after this for sure. You know, so yeah,
100%.
Yeah, geek, man.
Now I got a question, because like when I first listened to it, in a weird way, I felt like you was kind of dancing in between the two of like on that particular song, but like throughout the project, I feel like you was like singing the money a little bit.
Singing
like rapping the money, like yeah. But you was also rapping
broke.
to the women.
That nigga broke.
It was
fuck.
kinda
I fuck with that. I haven't heard that. That's the
Yeah,
aspect.
when
It's
I
like
was
a
hearing this, I'm like-
personification of like that shit. You know? What I mean?
Yeah, because just going through like with what y'all did with the project, some of the key points that y'all were hitting on like gentrification and money. I just felt like I got that little symmetry right there on that song.
On that song, I mean, that could
and me. You know what I'm saying?
That
we can lock and do some numbers
if you lock in.
Yeah,
but that was also just me kind of like keeping the theme of numbers and money involved in that in a sense. Cause even that we can do some numbers if you lock in with that because numbers take the combination this and that. So it's just like for me, we had. I guess necessarily I had kind of established a certain type of what this was about without even trying to establish what it was about. And so that in particular, again, like that was more so, that record was more so of, okay, I've been rapping my ass off. Something's got to shift just a tad bit because I want the women to listen to this.
Yes.
I want the ladies to hear what I'm trying to say, or at least got to say, and however I can reel them in to at least want to vibe and rock with it. That's what I can do. And even with the numbers, I think that's kind of where Ring came into play. It's just like just connecting those two dots, like numbers, Ring, this, that, and the third. So to an extent, that's an interesting concept, and I hadn't even thought about that. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
If you go back and listen to it, you might be like, damn.
Was I really singing to the money?
That's the thing. Is like, I feel like we're both like pretty self-aware, like people. Where when we were making, how we was talking about, like we were just kind of making songs, but we were consciously somewhat aware that we needed to pivot a little bit. And then we needed, but it didn't take that much thought to just know how to pivot. I still had those other beats, and we just kind of like, we were just like, oh yeah, let's make this one. And like, there's a lot of, like how you're saying the rapping is like it's money and the certain themes like money and everything. I like to think of this album as like, you know how people talk about like they're rapping like the Rents do.
Yeah, man.
This is like that.
Yes.
This is that. You know what I'm saying?
Hard.
This is that type of thing.
I actually have a tagline where I think I said something about it when I first announced the album. It's called, I gave it the saying, an album about making it count in more ways than one. And that's ultimately what it's about, because home really, quote unquote, I guess to be cliche, hits home. Like that second verse is literally like what I think it's all about. Just as good as a rapper I am, as focused as I can be, as bravado as I can be. Like I'm not always the most confident in myself. I'm not always the most in tune with my influence and things of that nature. But ultimately, it's about giving back. It's about finding who you are, finding that purpose, and using whatever profitable gains, whether it's influence, whether it's money, whatever, to just give back and make sure the folk behind us or after us don't make the same mistakes that we had to make. And then that's why the Malone part comes in, because yes, a nigga needs some money for sure, but it's not like I'm necessarily wanting money, like that. Like, cause the want for money can drive people insane. It can drive people crazy.
Yes,
and I didn't want this project to feel like that. It's more so just my frustration of the fact that I am over here working my ass off, I'm striving, giving people timeless music, and I'm still having to fight the powers that be just to get a cent, just to get a penny, and that was frustrating. But also too, though, what else is there to do but do what I do best, and that's just like you said, rap like the Rent do, rap my ass off, and eventually I think we'll both see the fruits of our labor out of this project, because it was a lot of time dedicated to this. I mean, he mixed and mastered and engineered the whole thing too.
Oh my god,
that's another thing that like you asked him about it earlier, and he didn't say that, but I'm gonna toot the horn for him. Like, he's the reason why it sounds so good. He's the skits and such like that. Yeah, I put the track listing in the order, but he's the one who put the Yo Gotti clip or the Gil Scott Heron joint after Free. So it really was a collaborative effort, man, and I'm just very glad that early results, early reviews is like, oh, this is different for me. Like I ain't heard you rap like this or just like this in a minute. And I'm like, man, we're only getting started in this motherfucker. So
Man,
Exactly.
yeah.
Talk to me about Frankenstein, man. That was a hell of a way to start the album. Like, cause it set the intention for sure. Like, just with that bounce, that bass line in there, it was just crazy, bro. Like, talk to me about that track.
How do we? I mean,
Cause it went from the skit, from the interview, into that.
shout out West Sleep. Shout out Kyrie, by the way.
Yes.
Appreciate you, my boy. I'll be over there soon.
Yeah, man.
That's probably one of the few sessions I actually don't remember.
I think it was just we just did it really quickly. Where he just rapped. He just rapped for like fucking it was like 50, 40 bars or something.
He rapped his ass off.
I was like, what the hell is there's like certain songs, bro, like where like I think definitely, I mean, when we first like made the Home song, that was the first song we made. So I already knew he got it, but like when we did Kurt Wagner, I realized how fucking crazy this dude actually was, and also like the whole thing is because as a beat maker, someone who makes like beats every day, my philosophy is the whole thing of challenging yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I got with him, he was like, "Nah, I just think it's about challenging yourself." As a rapper, it was coming from a rapper, so that was good to hear. And so when I threw on a fast beat like Kurt Wagner on, he was like, "Yo, this shit is tight." I'm like, "Man, what the hell is this dude gonna do to that?" And then him like rapping like that, like I'm like, bro, people can't really do that. And there's been so many times where it was just like him in the corner just write it, and then it's like, okay, I'm ready, and then go in there and he just raps for like 50 bars straight. And I'm like, bro, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, I was like, this shit is crazy. Like, you really rapping, you really rapping. Like, you know what I mean? And so, in that song, it starts off, I feel like that beat starts off like, intro. That part of the beat was already
Talking about Frankenstein?
Yeah. And so, it kind of felt like an intro and stuff, and him just rapping his ass off for that whole time. Crazy. It was like, okay, hold on. That might be like in times of sequencing, we might get down to that. So
yeah, that's just one of those things where that beat, I don't know what kind of song I could have made to that. You know, like I not to say that I couldn't have made no song, but I don't know where a hook was gonna come in at any point in. Just I guess that day I was just feeling myself. I ain't gonna.
No, you was talking your shit. You really was like, "Hey, I'm
BB Horry, Rocket Spur."
I had to let them know what the name is, man.
Yeah, you know, and I that's just something that I always have prided myself on. Of course, nowadays, there's more to it than being a good rapper. Like, don't get me wrong. Of course, the content, the look, I guess the availability of you as an individual, like how much can people like attach themselves to you, like how much can they relate and all those things in the nature. But if there's one thing I know I do with just about as best as everybody else, and I don't give a fuck where you at, where you from. If there is nothing else I do quite well with amongst any of them, it's rap. And it's just sometimes I feel like whether it be this conversation, it's the worldly conversation. I won't say I get left out, but people try to act like my influence ain't strong, and it's like, oh no, that's not gonna happen much longer after this or after that. So I just think that song in particular was kind of like a reclaiming of the stake that I have in a lot of this shit around, whether it's around here or just worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be good. I just know that Yo's favorites is inspired by me, and that also like a lot of this shit wouldn't be without me. And I firmly believe that, and I think the proof is in the pudding. In that song in particular was just me kind of reestablishing that. And if anybody disagrees, then fuck them.
Hey, talk that shit, man. You know what I mean? Hold on.
And I'm willing to talk about it too, but we can always agree to disagree type thing. But I do know without a shadow of a doubt that, like, you know, since 2013, 2014, like I played a big role in a lot of people's things, and whether I get the credit or not, doesn't necessarily matter to me. I just need my respect more than anything else.
What do you feel like that's lacking?
On my behalf? Or just in general?
Just the respect in general in the field, bro.
I think a part of it, honestly, is self-respect for my own shit, realistically, and just how I carry myself and how I go about things. Again, I'm not as much as I'm talking that shit right now. Like when I be in my own head way more than people realize about it all. So I think a part of it is just me kind of getting out of my own way and really understanding the influence, the power, and the ability that I have. So I think that's really the gist of it. I mean, that's pretty much how I see it. Once I get out of my own way and I kind of understand what I'm capable of and the responsibility that I have on some, Peter Parker shit, great power comes great responsibility. You got to be able to understand that and to be able to walk in it. Fact. You can't just know it and not step on it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like standing on business and shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be able to actually like be 10 toes firm in the idea of like, hey, bro, you really are that nigga, but with being that nigga comes eyes, looks, this, that, and the third that you can't just be slacking on. So I think that's ultimately what it boils down to, which is I have to get right within myself. And so that way, like my outerly being is exactly what I'm, portraying in these songs and these hooks and this and that and the third. Once that happens, and I think this is a good start. This project is a very good start for me to kind of understand that everything will. Well, not a good start, but like a good moment in me to like kind of reflect on like where I'm at. Almost like a checkpoint per se. Mm-hmm. Once I get that out of the way, oh no, it is what it is. We shooting for the stars from there. You know what I'm saying? Like I've derailed shit way more than any other motherfucker could, for sure. And I'm not proud of that, but I'm being honest about it. I've been my own roadblock more than anybody else could. So now that I'm starting to, just step by step, day by day, learn, fuck up, learn this, that, and the third, I think eventually everything that I just like, pop my chest out about will be exactly what I need it to be. But it starts from me though, for sure. I can't put that on anybody else but myself,
Real shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Real shit, man. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy.
Just being honest, man.
It's a real realization.
Just being honest, man. It's something that I've had to sit and soak with many a nights by myself or many a days, just whatever. And not to say that I can't talk about that with anybody, but who the fuck cares? You know what I'm saying? If you at your own fault, at your own risk, nigga, you better get your shit right. You'll get left, It just is what it is,
Has this kind of like revitalized you? Do you feel like you back now? You in that place where you need to be to hit the gas? It's all in now.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I had always been in that type of mode or intention or that type of time anyway. But now, it's like, nah, I can't stop now. Because, again, I always wanted to, I remember when me and Kazi first linked up and was, artist manager type relationship or whatever. I told him one of my biggest goals was to drop 2 in a year. I had never done 2 tapes in a year. So to get 2 minutes out at the top of the year and then to get this one out and close it out, we are only just getting started. I mean, we are only just getting started. Because, again, me and Porvita aren't done. Far from it. As a matter of fact, I don't know what you're doing after this. I'm trying to record.
Man, that Porvita is going to be fun.
I try to record because he plays. Listen, we was at his spot the night the album dropped. And he played some beats, bro. I'm like, fool, are you trying to get me to go back in? Do I even have time to add that?
Pretty much, man. Back to where it was we just released. We already made a beat next day, man. Let's keep on doing it. Man.
You got him in that mode, man.
Man, you feel me? So that, the guy who produced Icy, Porvita, he and I got a whole tape on the way. I've got 19 beats from him that I have I won't say got to start on, but there's so many ideas and this, that, and the third that I need to kind of really flesh out. I'm at the point now where I'm kind of enjoying the collaborative tapes. Not to say that I won't make another album with various amounts of producers again and things like that, but I like this idea of me and just one producer just locking in.
Yeah.
I think it's very fun, and it's a way for me to get out of my comfort zone and do things that I wouldn't normally do. Because a lot of those beats Like, I think the most challenging beat that I had from this tape was probably Free. But I knew we needed that though. I was so nervous about that hook.
Ooh,
I was so nervous.
That's
about
another
that
challenging one too. It's like, man, people can't really rap on shit like that.
Man,
no, it was crazy drum breaks
beat.
like that.
Yeah,
it's a challenging beat.
Yeah, that was a very nerve wracking one for sure. Just because like I felt good about the hook, but singing it, I was like, I don't know. And then after I left the session, I was like, okay, they just we just gonna rock with it. You know what I'm saying? And to answer your question, the pedal was absolutely to the metal. And you either gonna buckle up and get along for the ride, or Ludacris, move, bitch, get out the way. You know?
Yes, Lord.
It's really it's really like it's really no other feeling or in between besides that. You know, just for me. I've been at it for a long time, bro. My first ever EP, 722, will be 10 years old in February.
How does that feel, man?
Shit. I'm the rookie and the vet. Shout out to the bitches out holding down the set. You know what I'm saying? It's just, in the grand scheme of things, like I was just saying, like I was just popping my shit. Like, no, you can't talk about hip hop around here in Nashville and not mention me. I'm sorry. It's just is what it is. But to the rest of the world, they're still like tinkering and figuring out who the hell I am. And even though I've got, let the numbers or the statistics say it on these streaming sites or whatever, I've got fans all over the world, let it be. Mm-hmm. I just have yet to see it due to my own, struggles and insecurities, this, that, and the third. So it's I either step it up or improve what I'm talking about, or you just be another what if, and I don't care to be a what if in this scenario. Because ultimately, like, I don't ever have to ask myself what if. I told myself in high school I was going to do this rap thing, and here I am 10 years in, and da-da-da-da-da. I think it's just now time to make sure that what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and how we do it, because I'm only just one part of Nashville hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? Yes, and of course, I'm a part of hip-hop too, but like, just to be from here, we've been trying to break this glass ceiling and such like that of, rap can make some money around here, and rap can be a profitable industry here. To keep fighting that fight, even though it was never like intentionally part of initially part of the plan, it's just something that I will always, stand for and be about, while also, fighting a good fight as best as I know how to, just being a black man in this crazy ass world, So, it feels good. It feels good to be, I guess, like seasoned, you can say. But also knowing that there's still room in the game there's like room in my game for improvement, Like if I'm thinking about it like in a basketball sense, like I just need to hit the gym more. You feel me? I just need to lock in. You putting the shots up for sure. Yeah. But it's more shots to get up. It's more drills to go through. It's more practices to participate in, whether it be, he and I or just anybody. It's repetition. Practice makes perfect. And so I'm at that point now where I wish you would try to stop me. Man. Yeah. That's a feeling right there. It's tight too. It really is. It's tight, I wish you would try to it's not happening. It's not happening. So yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see, like, man, when it finally get here and you getting on tour and like recording it. I like to see you in that space.
It's on the way, and that's my thing. We gotta start talking about too. Is just like how we want to present this, because it's not. This is not just some. And don't get me wrong, I put on a great live show, but it's not something to just move back and forth on stage and rap. Like there's got to be maybe like, I don't know, some props or a dance routine or two or something of that nature. I just can't do the same things I've been doing, and I think it's very nice to know that I'm in a space of, all right, bro, you've been elevating. It's time to really take it there. Yeah. And if you're not going to take it there, then you're just going to be flying with the pigeons, And you can't, if you're an eagle, you got to soar,
That's facts.
So, yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. Speaking of eagles, man.
Wait. Where is this going? What a segue.
Hey, man. How you feel about your boys, man? You know what I'm saying? Detroit Lions.
Oh man. I'm nervous.
You nervous?
At this point, at this time of the recording of the podcast, I am extremely nervous. Only because the first couple of weeks we was out here world dominating. Past few weeks we've been looking very, very shaky, and I still think where we're at in the playoff picture, I think we got a good shot to at least get out that first round. But I don't want anything to do with Dallas in the second round. I'm sorry. I know that, and everybody's like, Dallas, you scared of Dallas, nigga? Yes, the fuck.
They balling, bro.
Michael, Dak, I am. Yes, I am crazy. Concerned. Yeah, so yeah, and we've got to finish strong, and our schedule is. It's not a breeze, but we got Minnesota twice. We got Dallas like right before New Year's. Mm-hmm. I think we've got the Bears. No, do we got the Bears again? No, I think we're done with the Bears. I'm pretty sure we're done with the Bears. We might have one more with the Bears. We might, but I know we at least got Minnesota twice.
Green Bay look like they figuring it out too.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, depending on who we would have to play in the wild card, because that third seed is pretty much like solidified for us. Like, I don't think we're moving out of that because NFC South stinks, and everybody else fighting for a wild card. Like, it's clearly Philly, San Fran. We're right there, of course, because we've got the better record than everybody else. So, the way the bracket shakes out is going to determine a lot. But this is right now is the time to kind of like snap out of it. Because that Green Bay game was terrible. Hey, Thanksgiving game was atrocious. That was so bad. Was tough. It was so fucking bad.
I was at the game.
You feel me? Even the Chargers game. It's like, bro, what?
That was tough.
Fun game. I'm glad we won it, but 38? 38? What are we doing?
Man.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, as a Titans fan, bro, it's been rough, man.
But
I'm ready to tank, baby.
I was just about to ask.
I was at the game.
Y'all only
I'm drinking a beer, bro, but I'm like, we're really right here in a competitive game with the fucking Panthers.
Carolina Panthers, bro. Get me out of here.
Bryce Young's my fucking height. Like, what the fuck is going on? And we can't even catch him,
bro.
Like, what the fuck is going on, bro?
Listen, I need Rand and them to go ahead and get it.
Yeah,
going.
I trust him though. I trust him.
Oh no, I
get it right.
And see, that's the thing.
I like the experiments that he tried.
When NFL teams let the black dude be the GM, Detroit is a prime example. Things start to shake. Rand kind of like had to let this season play out.
Yeah,
just so he can kind of see like what
he had to clear the bullshit out.
Yeah,
it was a lot of. He came in a pile of mess, bro. So it's like right now, this season been shifting it out. After this, let's see what he do.
So who? Really quick, while we on the sports tip, who would you want to see stay, just based off what you know? Because
Henry for sure.
Do you think he's coming back though?
I think if we build the right team the correct way, he'll come for a hometown discount. I think we got $100 million in cap space.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it just depends on.
I got money to burn. Damn. Really?
So it depends, honestly, if the draft picks will go towards building the line, and we try a hand at free agency for the receivers,
or the opposite on so many offensive lines.
Bro, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Well, also really quick to this point too, though. Like, shout out to him because Carmine's not the biggest sports guy in the world, to my knowledge. For real.
I don't get into it.
Yeah, but like, there's a lot of sports references on the album, and one of them in particular where he get the Marshawn Lynch clip right after.
I love that.
Random fact, and he didn't know this until after the fact. Me and Marshawn Lynch had the exact same birthday, April 22nd.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah,
so Taurus, man, I fuck with you. Yes, sir.
Right. Yes, grab life by the horse one day at a time, baby. Yes, sir. Yeah, but nah, I thought
27th. My wife's 29th.
Oh, we talked about this last time. That's hard.
Hey, I'm 16th.
Yeah, hard, man.
April.
Oh, damn.
Hey, that's hard,
baby. Yeah, April 16th.
Why did I not? Wait,
we did talk about this.
Damn, we should.
Hey, that's crazy.
It was during that song.
So there's that.
That's why the fire coming out.
Right.
A ram in the bull.
Yeah.
Whatever that fucking means.
Man. Oh, dude. All right, before we get ready to wrap it up, man, talk to me. talk to me about like, going through and hand picking some of these skits. I thought that was very special. Like I was telling you off camera, I loved with like the Dave Chappelle. I know what he gonna do. Stop him, like, bro. And, you know what I'm saying? Little shit like that, and going through and getting the Yo Gotti and the, it's another one slipping my mind.
Like the end of Visions and like the Gil Scott Heron and stuff.
Yeah. So it's like, man, what was your process in going through and picking those, and specifically to fit into this body of work, because it completed the puzzle. You know what I mean?
Man, it's really just like kind of just the way I'm kind of random in my head, really. Like I reference, like, if you have like a studio session with me, you'll probably hear a lot of like pop culture references that I just randomly say and shit. Because my brain is like half, it's like part of my brain I feel like is like YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, it's just you know what I mean? Like, database, like, it's just like like YouTube University. I feel like a lot of people have graduated from that. You know what I'm saying? I learned all my beats on YouTube, how to make beats on YouTube and everything. So I just be having like random ass ideas like that. Like that Kurt Wagner thing, or right before I was like, oh, that would be cool to put like that little Dave Chappelle thing. Like, I don't know. It was in my head for some reason. I was like, I don't know what he's gonna do. Stop him. Yeah, like, I don't know. I just thought it was funny, and like it just for some reason was in my head. And so, and coming from film and everything like that, that's kind of, I feel like that plays into the you know what I'm saying, the skits parts and like choosing and stuff, just little things like that. Like I mean, I love Gil Scott. You know what I mean? So it's like just choosing, just going on YouTube and really just watching, like, looking up something as simple as Brian Brown on YouTube. Man. And just watching videos of, other interviews he did, and then finding that one interview and was like, oh shit, what if I take this and put the sounds of Broadway on the same thing? Like, those YouTube videos where it's like me walking around Tokyo for 5 hours or whatever. Yeah. There was a video like that, but it was for Nashville, but it was Broadway. Wow. So I just took the audio and put it over the interview from that thing to make it sound like the city's right there while he's talking. Story too, bro. And also at the end of that skit, you hear me say, like, let's run it back one more time. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the project on Home, he says, yeah, that's the take right there, Carmine. So it sounds like I'm asking him to do another take. You know what I mean? But the whole take is the album. So it's like, if you listen to it on loop, it actually kind of like...
And that's another thing about the album too. Like, a lot of these songs was not like multiple takes. It was like, for sure. So this dude's a genius, man. He's a genius. Yeah.
Have you ever felt like we going through and making this project? Have you ever felt that in pocket when making songs like that? Because it comes out
prior to, or just like just in
just
general?
Through your career, where you're at now, have you ever felt that in pocket when making a body of work like that?
I'm gonna say yes, just because I won't act like that I haven't, but I think in particular with this one, because these pockets were so new and unfamiliar, at least to an extent, that I could only do nothing but bring my best. Especially Kurt. Kurt was one of the ones I heard that beat. I'm like, yo, what in the hell is this? Like, what is this? And I need in on that. But just, trying different ways of doing songs, rapping the hook first and making it sound like the verse instead of, going straight into it. What's another song that went like that? Talk is kind of set up in that exact same way. And just, just being willing to just try something different, man. That was the coolest part about it, man. It was just, he gave me some sounds and some BPMs that were a far but fluid left turn from what I had been doing so far. And again, I think to the main point about it was them shit slap. Shit slap. Like, everybody been telling me how good it sounds in the whip, so that's probably like the beautiful part.
Some of that shit is hard to rap on, like that Kurt Wagner and those free joints. Like, I'm gonna eventually, like, in a week or two, put out some of the instrumentals and stuff. But I challenge people to try to rap on them, and try to do it because you're not gonna be able to. But it'll make you realize how challenging and how hard that shit actually is. Too.
Yeah, man. So again, just shout out to him for giving me the canvases and the landscapes to be able to push myself a little bit further than before. And so hopefully when people, you know, if you ain't heard it already, you're cheating yourself. But like after this interview, after, you know, more and more talks and promo runs, vids, whatever we got coming on the way after this, merch, all that good stuff, people will be like, oh no, they really got together and crafted a moment.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see what comes of this moment that we made. Because it was a collaborative effort like no other. I know that, you know, people like, oh man, you rapping your ass off, but like kudos to this man for the production, the mixing, the mastering, letting me rap through my one takes. Like I'm such a one take ass nigga, and he be like, "You sure you don't want to punch in?" I'm like, "Nah, bro." Like, just
that's how I know what the process. I know the process.
Yeah, it's like just let me rock, and he did. You know, luckily it wouldn't take me that long after the one, but like it really was a beautiful culmination of just us. You know, not necessarily knowing one another initially, but we knew like, hey, you tight, I'm tight. Let's just make some tight ass shit together, and bada boom, bada bang, here we are, BBGonProfit. Out now, motherfuckers, out now.
Everywhere.
Out now. Please. That beautiful ass album cover. I better go listen to that shit, man.
Yes, sir. Oh, who did the album cover? You did the album cover?
I did the album cover as well.
Hard.
Front and back, man.
Hard.
That's why he getting most of the percentages.
Crazy. Hey, man. Hard, man.
Oh, boy.
Hard. Hey, man, y'all want to take a shot, man?
Hey, can I go to the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, let's do it, man. We pause. Yeah, we come right back.
Hold on.
We'll take a shot, man.
Let's go. Hold on.
Appreciate it. Hopefully it inspires people to want to go harder on their shit too, you know.
Oh, it shouldn't change. It done changed the landscape. Trust me.
Yeah, it's good. It's cool too. Like, hopefully, you know, it inspire people to not just make like a playlist of songs and actually want to make like segues and transitions and stuff. Even if you just have like some smash pop single mainstream hit, like you can still do that shit.
Forget about albums actually having to be consistent through tracks.
Yeah.
Tracks and everybody's just tailored towards streaming now. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Cohesive bodies of work.
Facts.
Yeah, that shit ages better.
You
know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you. And I think this project is going to age, like, gracefully. Matter of fact, why BB coming back, you got some other stuff kind of in the works? So, like, what you doing?
Yeah, I'm directing these music videos with this other artist that I produced for named Clover James. So that's going to be cool with the videos and stuff and everything. And we got some really cool ass ideas.
Aye.
And there's some other stuff I got. Like, I got stuff with Petty 615 that really want to. Yeah. We've been taking our time with it, but I definitely want to get back into those. Also got a bunch of tracks.
Kind of bag you finna put him in?
Oh yeah, it's about to be a bag, but about to get with me and 30 Sales actually have like a bunch of joints together. So we're gonna start like trying to figure out the release strategies on those. Even for this project, like the instrumentals will be released in like a week or two, and then in a couple of months to a few months, I'll do a remix project, and also do like club mixes too, because you know, for the DJ community and everything like that, you know, probably release it for free, honestly, for people to download it, and it will be on streaming, but just for easy access for all the local DJs around the city and stuff, because I DJ as well at multiple places, so it would be good to give that to all the DJs that I know, like DTL Jams, Afro Sheen, Haji, Nikos, all of them.
Shout out Afro Sheen. Yeah. Man. Dog, you like I ain't gonna lie, man. You like a superhero, bro. Like, what can't you do? That's crazy.
I can't sing like that. Can't hit the high falsetto and shit. Who knows, though?
That's hard, man. I think I wanted to ask, man, like, is your collaborative process with, like, other artists, is it different?
Yeah, it is different.
Yeah.
It's different. It kind of happens the same way in the sense of just, like, making beats and just you want to make something tight and, you know, that value of making music, but I feel like everyone has a different process, and I think it's cool to adapt to every different artist's process, and it even kind of enhances my process a little bit too. Of just like, it might make me want to go into a beat a little bit differently or something. You know, just like whatever artist I work with, some artists write, some artists don't at all. You know what I'm saying? And then there's everything in between. So
Damn.
Some people have like voicemails in there, or like voice memos. And they're like, "Yo, I have an idea for a whole song. Can you make this whole beat of it?" So it's however like people's process really is. So I try to adapt and try to just be a chameleon, really. So
hard, man.
That's a millionaire right there.
And you, I wanted to ask, man. So like, did you is Red Room?
Yeah, Red Room Studio.
Is that that's your studio?
Yeah. It's me and like 2 other people.
Hard, man. Like when did you bump into that, and when did that come about?
That's actually to the homies Ja and the homie Merc. They're brothers. Ja's like one of my best friends. I've known him since I was like 13 type shit. And his older brother does music for a really long time. So, and we were in Nashville since 2016, just always like setting up studios in the living rooms type shit, you know, like that whole thing. Just setting up speakers, setting up equipment, just wherever. And it just, equipment kept on getting bigger, but it was always in living rooms and shit. Then eventually we got a new house, and we were like, okay, like let's make this one part of the house like actually just a full on studio.
Fire.
Put some money in there, you know, got all the, you know, the proofing and everything like that, like all the soundproof and everything like that. So we've been kind of going at it for probably about like 2 years now.
Yeah.
Still growing, still having new things, new pieces of equipment and shit like that.
It's in the Nashville area or outskirts?
It's in Madison, but it's not too far away from Nashville though. It's at the crib, so
yeah, it's right up the street. Yeah, about, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's smooth.
Got a
man.
pool and everything and shit.
That's hard. Salute to that, man. Hey, man, I appreciate like what you doing, bro. Like you brought some energy here. You brought that Dallas feel here, bro. I think it's been needed, man. It's kind of setting the tone, setting the energy. You know, I think BB, like, you know, in any time that he does something that it either moves the culture forward or shifts it. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of like, nah, this is what we on. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard that right. I heard that right.
BB moving culture.
Yeah, so that me talking that shit earlier wasn't just no hyperbole, man. Yeah, that's honest to God facts.
It's like that, man. Yep. It's like that.
Me. So I ain't saying, but I'm just saying.
I had them ones at them ones. It's up here, man.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right, cool.
I got you already pulled up, man. So look, I want to do a toast, man, to the project, man. BBGonProfit. Y'all make sure y'all get that's out now.
Please.
You know what I'm saying?
Please.
Salute to y'all brothers on creating a beautiful project.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it.
Cohesive body of work. You know what I'm saying? And I look forward to what y'all doing in the future.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man. Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Ooh. I'm trying to think. Okay, so before we go, I gotta ask. What's the best song and what's your favorite song?
That's tough.
I've been asking everybody.
When you got more than 3 for me, that means you got a hell of a project. But
well, if I got 9, I better have more than 3.
Oh, yeah, no, but I'm just saying. Like, no, well, that means in depth of how many songs you got on there, too.
True. Yeah,
for sure.
True.
But
okay, for sure.
Man, definitely Kirk.
That's your favorite or the best? Cause my thing is the best song to me is Free. My favorite song is Talk.
See,
that's just my personal opinion.
I think the best song. I think the best song is Ring because
that's true.
Because it's like it makes everybody want to move. Yeah. Like it's created for that.
Yeah, it's a full-fledged jam. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. If I was gonna put your project on for somebody that has just randomly, it'll probably be one of the ones that I go to first.
Ring, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But my favorite is Kurt.
True.
True. But I like Talk too, so it's like 1A, 1B.
All right, cool. I can get you with that.
Crazy
with that. Yeah, okay.
But I like. Yeah, it's all,
I like how it changes for people. I like.
It's probably gonna change.
Nobody,
like,
bro. Everybody's damn near everybody's named every song so far. I think that's the coolest part.
I always love that shit.
Yeah, nobody's giving me like the same answer over and over. Like in particular, the one I think that's catching me off guard per se that people are really rocking with is Visions. That's the one that people are like, yo, nigga, what was you on? And I'm like, nigga,
That beat is hard too.
Hey man,
Yo, the shit from the like I feel like from Visions to Free, like that's one of the most wild shits.
It really is. Cause like the cadence and the pocket that he caught, what we supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, and hopefully this is not too much of a secret. So maybe we gonna keep this, but hopefully you might wait. So one of my things that I do whenever I get a beat is like I listen to every single detail of the beat, like the bass, the kicks. I listen to everything.
This is true,
and that is how I kind of determine how I want to rap over things. So if you hear the beat, dum 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 boom, boom dum dum dum, boom dum 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 dum, things is changing as it relates. So spit me any excuse, figuring shit out on the go. That's what we're supposed to do. I'm always looking for that cadence, that bounce, that like hook somebody. Yes, and then from there, I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do. But I at least start there. I try to find something along the lines of some type of drum sample, whatever, that just kind of got a bounce. And I'm like, okay, as long as I can do something with that, everything else afterwards makes sense. So yeah, Visions. Yeah, that's actually the last record we made.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Like that
was the last one.
Yeah, that's the last song we made.
Yeah. On the record, I think the Big Gipp was the last like thing that we like.
Yeah, Big Gipp was like the last. I just wanted to give somebody one more like knockout punch, and that didn't even make the album. I thought about throwing it on the end, but I was like, nah. I think what we got right now is fully
be like a bonus vinyl.
Could do a little deluxe type thing.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking about doing. Vinyl pressings.
Yeah, for sure. Like them joints that we let go of prior to, like the 8 Minutes Left freestyle, which was insane.
Oh yeah, that one.
Insane.
Diamond Store with the sample.
Yeah. Throwing those on there on some extra, like, hey man, if you caught this now, you can get all of them only on this one type thing. So yeah, man, we have fun. We ought to do it again.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
A lot of this shit is just fun at the end of the day too. So it's really like it's work, it's hard work for sure, but it's just fun. It's just being creative and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, and just again that trust, man, that we just gotta have amongst one another, and that we had it. So I can't beat it, man. Can't beat it.
Beautiful, man. Yeah, we go finish it off, man.
Awesome, man.
How long you been in the managing game? Recently? That's hard, man. Hard.
And what's funny is
with the right one.
Drake is always like been there. You know, that's the crazy part. Like whether it be camera or just an idea, he's always been there. It wasn't until recently we was like, bruh, just step up. just speak up realistically, you know, because he's never given us a bad idea or a bad like vision by any
bro
means.
So like I'll tell you, like with me being in this space right now, I'm kind of dabbling with managers. So I work with
yeah.
So it's like I learned
who manages right now?
I don't think no one.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a whole new situation. But
okay,
with that being said, it was like, and what I was trying to do,
because we had some good work together.
But that's why I need her. We done had that conversation. You know what I mean? But from what I've seen, like the dynamic duo with, I've seen like some genius and it was like, all right, what I'm trying to do over here, I need that. But I say that to say like, did you realize like what kind of manager you were? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I noticed that managers have different skills. You have some that is paper chasers. You got some that can help with building a complete brand, a world around what you're doing. And then you have like just creative geniuses that you need that in the room. They can tell you that one ain't it. This is what you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
I really say I just kind of grew into the role because like it started with them telling me like, hey, come put the camera down. Like, not put the camera down, but
for sure
do more joint management and stuff like that. And then we sat down for 2-minute drill just to like rep draft it one day. And then after that, like,
that was a great day too.
Because he just started putting me on the list for shows,
hard
sound check time, pull up here, and kind of just threw me in there and let me get comfortable for like a few months.
Beautiful.
Kind of just by the time we got to Colorado, it was like, all right, I know my role.
Oh man, the Denver trip,
beautiful.
Yeah. What a good time.
So it took some reps then, and then you like, all right, this is where I fit in. Because y'all tag team it. Y'all kind of tag team.
It's a 3-man.
Hard.
Yeah,
That's
at least
hard.
on my behalf. Yeah, well, those two, and then my boy Mike. Yeah,
You
Hard,
got a
man.
great team. It inspired me to just even want to just think about teams. Yeah.
Man.
I mean,
So
because you got,
important, bro.
because man, listen, bro. I've done. Don't get me wrong. I pretty much have had like a manager or something of the sorts since I've started. But I think like the idea of what a manager does is kind of like, I won't say misconstrued, but also like, it's not necessarily even talked about enough. I guess is what I'm trying to get at here.
It gets like misinterpreted.
Yeah, bingo. Like they like they're there to facilitate. They are there to, help you further whatever visions you have about certain things. And along the way, I've had some managers who have like kind of helped with that, but they've also been very timid in terms of being willing to like jump out on that limb and just go with me. I vividly remember like when I was dropping what songs were those? Those Lucy's like around like 17, 18 when I was doing Stoop Kid, Desires, Dreamers Anthem, Cycle, Ric Flair, whatever. My manager at the time was like, "You got to have an album." I'm like, "Bro, I don't have anything out since 2014. I don't have to do anything. Like, we need to just see what the people want to hear from me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just sitting here idle and just ducks in the pond, not doing anything." And they worked. Like those worked for me. I honestly, and that's another reason why to pop my shit. Like a lot of people can't fuck with me. I kept living off singles for like a good 3 years.
Hard.
Like I was surviving off singles for like a solid 3-4 years before Journey was ever finished. And a lot of that, where's Journey at, or that's a testament to me like really building up that process. And at the same time, it really went like that. Like Journey was not supposed to be a collection of just my favorite producers from Tennessee. It was supposed to just be me and one producer, and it just didn't work out that way. But once shit kind of went haywire, I kind of had to, really just kind of start from the ground up. Like, okay, this is what I got in front of me. Let's do something with it. And then in turn, now I got Kazi, I got Dreekus, I got Mike, and they are like, all right, bro, you got the hard part out the way. Let's make your life easier. And we still working on how to make everything easier for everybody too. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a beautiful part about it. Like everybody's willing to be constructively critical of one another in our roles, in the jobs that we do. Without a shadow of a doubt. Because that's the only way this shit gonna work. Everything can't be a yes. I love to hear the word no. Like no is a great thing sometimes. You just have to kind of get out your own way and be willing to allow that no to be your reason for the next yes. That's ultimately what it boils down to. Because like that no, they're not telling you no for nothing. That's the biggest thing. That they're not saying no just for the fuck of it. It's like nah, because this. Again, this is probably the most like this project is probably the most like erratically anything I've ever done has happened. Like just time wise, this and the third. But they believed in it so much, and they believed in how much I believed in it so much that here we are, just naturally going through the process of like, okay, we've got it out. This is the part now where we're kind of in a good space to where the industry's dead right now. We get to kind of sit, look at the first couple of weeks' numbers, see what songs this, that, and the third, and then just kind of go. Because we got content already in the cut that we're just about to start dropping here and there soon. And just a couple of videos that we want to get finished and figure out which ones we ought to shoot. Like we got an idea of which ones, but just based off of where we're at right now in the grand scheme of things, we get a chance to kind of like look at the data and be like, oh, okay, so they fucking with this, that, this, that, and the third, and and move accordingly. But again, it's the same thing. It's just that spontaneous, anonymous trust. I've known Kazi for like 10+ years now. He was when I was working at Chipotle on West End, like I was making sure everybody was getting a discount. And I actually
shout out Chipotle.
For sure. I make sure. Listen, if you listen, I was giving away burritos at this point. At that point. Yeah, for sure. So, but like but the thing goes with him, he was it Flab Gang? As a gang, yeah, he had some folk at TSU with him that was probably like this collective or whatever, and Willie happened to be one of those folk, right? Yeah, Yeah. Well, like, and Naps was like a part of that same like collective, and I had did a talent show at TSU with Wale, Naps, and there was one other person that was in that band that night. I can't. Yeah. It's Sigma Talent Show, and that's how he and I met. And like, they didn't necessarily boo me off the stage over there, but I survived. Like, I did like this really cool, like almost jazz cover of "Summertime," where I freestyled over it. It was almost like some Big Crit shit almost, where I did "Summertime" where I freestyled or whatever. And that's like the early days of 722 being developed too, and. This is when Twitter was kind of still like in the ruthless stages. They had this like, no bullshit, dude. They had this like jumbotron, like screen up behind us. Niggas was like live tweeting via the shit, and so like I'm getting the results of what people felt after I got done. It's like he alright. And for me, I'm sorry, a TSU crowd is like surviving the Apollo. Like if I can. I didn't get Sandman that night, so I don't give a fuck. I was like, all right, cool. If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere, dude. I don't give a damn, man. Hell yeah. So it's just built up and developed from there, and you know now there's just we're a lot wiser, we're a lot more seasoned, we're a lot more entrenched in the game and things that we should know and ought to know, and so it's just about again. Being transparent with one another and understanding that, like, hey, I'm telling you this because of this, or I have a good idea. And you just got to be willing to kind of just go out on a limb and not be scared to take that risk or allow somebody else to be like, hey, bro, this is how I see it from this perspective. Because as an artist, you're so this sometimes that you don't even think about, like, nigga, you came up as a fan first. You came up as a listener, as an individual who just enjoyed the music first. So think about what you like about your favorites and then kind of like apply that to yourself and then kind of go back to the drawing board. And that's kind of where we're at right now. It's like, damn, I've been this for so long. Now it's just time to like up the ante and just adapt some different environments and type of like, not environments, adapt some different like trends and intricacies that we've been doing and just kind of like just up it up a level, so and this music allows us to really like do that wholeheartedly and passionately
for sure.
So that's just beautiful, man.
For
it's
sure.
Really
Beautiful, man.
Yeah. That was I don't know how we even got to that topic, but that was a fire conversation.
No, that's dope.
People don't ask about that part of it, like the outside looking in perspective, especially from the manager standpoint. Because I'm sure I'm a head case every now and then, without a shadow of a doubt.
This is coming out in October.
Yeah. So,
the date.
Yeah, we wanted to do like Halloween and shit. But I was like, yeah, you know,
summertime.
A part of it was like me was like, we did one homecoming. Yeah, we did. But I was like, you know what? I can rein it back a little bit, because we didn't have it. Like the music, we felt great about, but it was just everything other than that. Like like I said, like music is just only a part of it. Yeah. It's only like one part of it now, and I hate that. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's always been the thing. It's just now more so than ever. Like music is maybe like 15% of the whole shit. It's the content. It's the commercials, quote unquote. It's the videos. It's the merch. This, that, and the third. But luckily, to everybody's credit, Carmine included, we felt so good about the music that we was like, you know what? We can't just rush this one yet. Yeah. I get like why we want to be so emphatic about this, but we kind of have to look at the bigger picture and make sure that none of this gets lost on lost ears. Yeah. And so us pushing it back, taking some time to mix and master it, this, that, and the third, him with those skits and sequencing it all, us shooting some content behind the scenes and some videos behind the scenes, it just allows us to like look at the rest of this year and the top of 24 and be like, okay, we can do this, we can do that, this, that, there, and like really precisely target who we need to target, have a plan, and just kind of go type.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm glad that like they talked some sense into me, and that I had the sense of even on my own to be like, you know what, we can kind of we can wait a little bit, so we can wait a little bit. Yeah.
Talk to me about because like I deal with this myself, like with my manager. I'm still in the process because I'm kind of new to the space, and like I've built this like platform to be self sufficient, needed at all times. If you know what I'm saying, if I got to do it myself, that's what we on.
True.
You know what I'm saying, but. Now I'm getting to a place where I'm having people come in and want to help. You know what I'm saying? They believe in the vision. You dig what I'm saying? So, talk to me about like, because I'm still like adjusting to that. What do I give off to the manager? You know what I'm saying? Like, because
I'm
you
still,
got certain shit.
Listen, to this day, like, I'm still learning.
You handle that. You handle that. Yeah. I'm gonna handle this over here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still learning.
It's like I'm still passing off emails and shit.
I'm still learning. Trust me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm
passing off emails now.
They will tell
so it's like, all right, man. Here go the password. Here go this. God damn, I take it.
Yeah, listen. You know I am still learning that process like day by day because, like I mentioned, yes, I've had a manager along the way, but I'm the one usually uploading my music. I'm the one usually uploading my lyrics.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm used to it. It's a habit, and it's just certain like it's just certain. It's hard to break certain habits, and it's not like I don't want to. It's more so like I've tried to give people these duties, and they fucked me over. You know, so again, it's just building up that trust in that situation of like, all right, they actually got me. They're not actually here to kind of.
I can rest on this.
Yeah, they're not here. They're not here. They're not here to fuck up the bed. They're not here to mess up the money. They're not here to mess up how I've done things prior to. You know, and that is just one of those things where you just have to be willing to kind of relinquish some type of control. And it's not that you're giving up all the quote unquote power, I guess you can say, but more so of you.
It's sharing duties, man.
Bingo.
It's literally
bingo.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's so much weight on you. You gotta diversify that shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you're like you're the guy who does the interviews, and your job really shouldn't be much more than that. I'm the guy who makes the music, everything else. Please, because I don't want to think about anything other than that. I've had to for a long time, and I feel like sometimes my left brain just don't work anymore. Like my right brain got
fried, bro. I be a dad and shit. Like when I'm trying to tap out of that and going, like, it's like God damn.
And so
bro.
You know, it just. Just gotta be
adaptable.
Yeah, just gotta be willing.
They are important though. When somebody that gets you and can understand like what you got going on in the vision, and they believe in it just as much as you. Yeah, it's damn near. It's priceless, bro.
It's huge. It's huge. Like we've been pushing the fuck out of this album this first week, man. Bruh. And again, it's only gonna grow and go further than that. But that just goes to show that when you're doing something that is worth getting behind, folk will be at the forefront for you no matter what, bro. Like, no matter what. You just have to be that assured in yourself and allow them to be as sure in you as you are of yourself. And, like, this process in particular, this album in particular has been one of those where it's like, okay, I'm thinking... Well, not thinking, but I'm seeing it finally start to mesh. I'm finally starting to see where, okay, this person does this person does that. I just do this and get the fuck out the way. You know, and that's just a beautiful process because again, like you just said, like we just all just kind of like agreed amongst one another. Like it can be a challenge to let people, do things that you just know how you want them to go. But all you gotta do is be like, hey, bro, this is how I want this shit to go.
The communication part. It's really that simple, bro. The communication.
It's as simple as that, man. It's like this. This is what I expect, and if you can't do that, move.
Look, bro, it just keep transparent. Like I had where I wanted to give things off to my manager, but I think with just how I was moving, she was like, all right, let's come back and let's reassess this. How about I take this because I see you ain't really relinquishing like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but there you go. You know there you go.
Let's communicate. And I'm like, thank you because like all you got to do is bring that to me. If I'm doing that and you feel it, bring that to me, and we can definitely talk about it and then chop it up, and then we can go from there and figure out how we need to move forward.
I'm not going to stop you from making my life easier.
Yeah. Motherfuckers making shit hard, man. Hard, bro.
I'm not gonna stop you from doing that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Buffer and support system. I tell them all the time. It's like if anybody says anything, you stop them and then send them to us.
Man,
we're the people that are gonna handle it and be like, hey, you want to do this or not? Tell us, and we'll tell them. Because if they get instant access access to you, they feel like they can hit you up for whatever.
Anything. Yeah.
Man.
Trust. Yeah.
That's why it's like, I know when we was chopping it up, I specifically took that route because I got BB contact. And at first, when I first got into this game and I didn't have a manager, that's how I was handling shit. I'm like, damn, why didn't you talk to the manager? But it's like, bro, you cutting them out of their job, like, of what they're supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be cool, smooth, and come through and do his motherfucking thing. Simple, and it's like, bro, if we need to work out any more details of what we done already talked about, that's it. Yes, bro.
All he has to do is come in, be him, and then leave.
That's it, bro.
And again, and that's just something I'm working on. Because sometimes when I just see a good opportunity, a habit, it's like, you know, I just kind of, I kind of know to like pounce on it. But at the end of the day, like just telling the team, like, hey, bro, this just came to us. This is what's going on. Let me know how you feel about it before I, you know, agree nor disagree to do it, this, that, and the third. And that just kind of goes a long way. And I'm just having to, like, you know, slow down and be like, let me just reassess the whole evaluation before I do that thing and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, it's one of those things where I think even past, like, an artist manager thing, I just think that's just, like, a human nature thing. Just to, like, talk amongst one another and kind of understand like what's the goal at hand, whether it's something that you need, I need, whatever. We're all trying to do something here that benefits not only ourselves as individuals, but us as a conglomerate, as one another. The best thing to do is make sure that we talk about what the goals is, what the plans is, and just fulfill them as best as we possibly can. Thanks. Ultimately understanding that you eat, I eat. No matter how it goes. Like we starve together or we you know, eating good together, one or another, you know. And I've always even had the thing too where like even if I'm not like the person or the artist that you want to necessarily get behind, or if you feel like, man, you know what, BB just ain't this or that, I'm never gonna wish ill on you. You know, you helped me get to a place and to a point that I probably needed at that point in time. So who am I to, you know, if you feel like, okay, I got to go in this other direction, to tell you, nah, don't go left. Nigga, go left. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, like I just mentioned, like, we all individually have our own goals and whatever. But, like, while we are here, let's do whatever to make sure everybody's accounted for, everybody's bigger plans at hand make sense, and then, or not even then, like within it all, make sure that the bigger picture for the mission at hand gets accomplished. Because once that does, everybody gains a level. Everybody gets some experience points to set and the third. You know, so
facts.
Yeah.
Talk. That's a cloth talk right
now. Listen, it's because I've had to learn the hard way for sure, and I think these platforms remind us to give out that wisdom, so that way, like, the next batch of artists or whatever don't have to slip up and fall and make the same mistakes that I've made and such of that nature. So if you're in that position now, hopefully you take heed to what I say and just kind of just speak up, you know, just speak up to whoever or ask for that help. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just more so there's been situations where I am my own help. And so having to not be that is very, like, uneasy, because it's like, okay, are you really here to help, or are you here for another reason? And you just have to be like, all right, you know what? Let's just see where this goes. Yeah, taking that leap of faith, bro. It's a very hard thing to do, but you have to do it, unless or you just kind of gonna be.
You'll never see.
You never see. Never see.
Man, look, I'm going to get y'all brothers up out of here. We're going to play Past the Ox. You got a joint you want to play?
Oh, man.
What's your favorite?
Oh, just in general?
Well, I know you said free, but we can play whatever.
Oh, God. I'm going to play that big Gipp, because that Gipp is stupid. I ain't going to stunt. That Gipp is crazy.
Hard.
Like, that's my joint.
And we're going to get laid to snap it up real quick before he slide up out of here, man, for sure.
I just need to press play on that bitch?
Oh, matter of fact, you got it over here, don't you? You got it out, don't you?
It's out. Yeah. You can pull that bitch up.
So, dude, you dropped that before the project.
Exactly. It was like the Monday. It was like like Monday.
Like a little Lucy out there. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's run it, man.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah, this is a record. Big Gipp, if you happen to see this, holla at your boy, man.